Today, you guys, we are talking about Eve Jahan Jeffers Cooper, who was born on November the 10th of 1987 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Eve was brought up by her parents Julie and Jerry. The pair would eventually divorce when Eve was 12 years old. She graduated from Martin Luther King High School, and by the age of 18, Eve started working as a stripper. Eve knew while working at the strip club that she didn't belong there, but it was just a means to an end. It was a hustle that helped her discover who she was. Eve would only work at the strip club for 2 months until rapper Mace convinced her to stop. Her musical journey started with singing, and she would form a girl group known as Dope Girl Posse. The group's manager suggested rapping to them, and once the group split up, Eve became a rapper under the stage name Eve of Destruction. Mike Lynn, who is Dr. Dre's right-hand man, flew Eve to LA, where she recorded a demo tape for Dr. Dre to listen to. By 1998, Eve was signed to Dr. Dre's record label Aftermath Entertainment, and her first single, What Y'all Want, was released in June 1999 and peaked at number 29 on Billboards. Unfortunately for Eve, she would get dropped from the label by Dr. Dre not too long after rapper Eminem was signed by Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre certainly has an ear for talent, but I think he was too quick to pull the plug on Eve, and Eve basically was saying how she always wanted to know when she was going to be in the studio recording, and I think Eve may have been annoying Dr. Dre too much, which is why he basically dropped her. But you know, as we all know, Eminem is the real deal, and I think Dr. Dre knew Eminem would go further than Eve could. Eve was devastated from being dropped by the label. She had to go back home and basically start from scratch, unfortunately. She would eventually sign to Rough Riders Entertainment and Interscope Records. On September the 14th of 1999, Eve's debut album Let There Be Eve, Rough Riders' First Lady, was released. The album sold over 213,000 copies its first week and debuted at number 1 on Billboards. Eve became the third female hip-hop artist after Lauryn Hill and Foxy Brown to debut at number 1. The album produced hit singles like Got a Man and Love is Blind. The song Love is Blind was a poem that Eve wrote at 16 about a friend who at 17 was dating a 35-year-old man that was beating her. Eve would also feature on Missy Elliott's Hot Boys remix, which broke the record for most weeks at number 1 on the US R&B chart. On March the 6th of 2001, her second album Scorpion was released and produced hit singles Who's That Girl and Let Me Blow Your Mind featuring singer Gwen Stefani. The song Let Me Blow Your Mind earned Eve her first Grammy and peaked at number 2 on Billboards. She also won Best Female Hip Hop Artist at the BET Awards. Her third album, Evolution, was released on August the 27th of 2002 and peaked at number 6 on Billboards. It produced hit singles Gangsta Lovin' featuring Alicia Keys and Satisfaction. During this time, Eve started acting, and we saw her in films like XXX, Barbershop, The Cookout, and she even starred in her own sitcom titled Eve on the UPN network. In 2003, she started her own clothing line called Fetish, which was discontinued in 2009. Over the years, Eve would feature on other people's songs like Gwen Stefani's Rich Girl, Kelly Rowland's Like This, Amari's One Thing, and Ludacris' My Chick Bad. Eve then put out an album for over 10 years, but she still remained relevant in the acting world, and people still wanted her to collaborate with them. Her new album titled Lip Lock was supposed to come out in 2007, but there were so many delays because the record label was not happy with the sales of her singles Tambourine and Give It To You featuring Sean Paul. Eve would eventually leave Interscope Records in 2010 and signed to EMI, but she would eventually release the album in 2013 as an independent artist due to all of the delays. The album debuted at number 46 on Billboards under Eve's own label titled From the Rib Music through a distribution deal with Sony/Red. In 2014, Eve married her husband Maximilian Cooper, who's known for Gumball 3000. In 2017, 2017, she became a co-host on The Talk, but left in 2020 due to COVID and trying to expand her family. She participated in a versus battle against rapper Trina in 2021 and starred in ABC's music series Queens. In 2022, she gave birth to her first child, a boy, and these days she's mainly focused on her family, but every now and again we see her performing somewhere. Eve is a multifaceted artist that can sing, rap, write, act, and host. Every lane or genre that she enters, she's been able to make an impact.